Good morning, my dear students. Today I will take your classes on heat transfer, that is PCME 502 501. Okay, so let us recapitulate something. So about the heat transfer, all you know, heat transfer means the transfer of heat from one point to another. Okay, so basically there are three modes of heat transfer, as you know earlier. So what are they? One is conduction, then there is convection, and there is a radiation. So what is heat transfer actually is? Heat transfer means the transfer of heat from one portion to another portion, whether it is a fluid, whether it is a gas, whether it is a solid, to do some work or for some utilizations. It may be utilized or it may not be. Okay, now there, as I have told, that there are three modes of heat transfer. One is conduction, convection, and radiation. So to get the feeling about these three of modes of heat transfer, let me take you to one example. So come to let us see one example of heat transfer, the modes of heat transfer. So this is not the example of heat transfer, but this will give you the feelings how this transfer takes places. So first mode is conduction, second mode is convection, and the third mode is radiation. Third mode is radiation. Okay, so to get the feeling about this heat transfer, that how this heat transfer takes place physically, we have to take one example. Suppose there is a house over here, so you can see, so my drawing is not better, so you can see, so there is a house, you can see there is a house, and this house got caught fired, इसमें आग लग गया. Okay, so what we have to do? So we have to diminish this fire, मतलब इस आग को निभाना है. तो कैसे करना है? So with a certain distance there is a pond, you can see there is a pond. Okay, so now we have to throw the water on this house by taking water from this pond, and we have to push it over here. Only then the fire will diminish, it will distinguish. But how could we do that? So there are several ways to carry this water from here, from this pond to this pond. How? So let us take the first mode. So we can make a human chain. We can make a human chain just like this. We can make a human. So video was little bit interrupted, so let us start once again. So as I was talking about, that we can first case we can make a human chain just like this. We are making a human chain just like this. We are making a human chain. Okay, now what we can do? So we can do that, we will give each one of the person a bucket. Now the last person will take the water from the pond in the bucket, and that bucket gives to the next one. So the bucket will be given to the next person, then the next person will give bucket to the next person, and thus finally the bucket full of water comes to the last person. So you can see the water is being carried from this pond to another pond by using some human chains, and the bucket is transferred from one person to one person. So if the same thing happens in the case of metals, whenever the heat is transferring from one portion to one portion, so one molecule takes the heat, then it gives to the neighborhood molecules, then it gives neighborhood molecules. Then these modes of heat transfer will be considered as conduction. Then this mode of heat transfer will be considered as conduction. Okay, next, suppose यहाँ पे एक आदमी खड़ा है, Okay, and we don't require the other persons, we require one more person is over there. Okay, and another person is over there. What he is doing, he is filling the bucket and giving it to him. So the first person taking the water into the bucket and gives to the second person. This second person is carrying the water full of bucket, the bucket full of water carries and gives it to the man at 3, and this man pushes water in this room. Okay, so that the iron so that the fire can distinguish or diminish. Okay, so you can see here only one person is acting here in this example. That means he is carrying the water from the pond to the required positions. This mode of heat transfer is known as convection, just like your fluid. So if the fluid is flowing like this, and we are heating in this portion, so what will happen? One molecule of the heat, there are 7 molecules, but we are taking one molecule. So one molecule is taking the heat from this portion or from this wall, and it is carrying the heat to the wall on the other part. It is not giving the heat to the another portion. That what was happening in the case of conduction. So this mode of heat transfer is known as convection. And the last one is radiation. So how we could get the feeling? That we will put a pump over here. We'll put a pump over here, and the pump is taking water from here, and it is throwing the water just like this. It is throwing the water just like this. So no human is required, no molecules is required, no chain is required, just taking the water from here, and it is throwing the water in the burning houses, and the burning house is diminished. Same thing happens in the case of radiation. This type of mode is known as radiation. So I can give you one example. So you have done the bonfire. Bonfire means that whatever you are doing in the winter night out, what you do, you collect some woods, just like this, and make like a structure like this, and you burns the fire. It burns the fire. Okay, and from here you warm your hand. Just doing this, you are warming your hand or your palm. So there is no mode of heat. How then the heat is coming? So then the heat is coming in terms of radiations. Just like in the sun, the heat coming from the sun is through the mode of radiation. So there are 3 modes of heat transfer. One is conduction, then convection, then there is radiation. But rather I would say basically there are 2 modes of heat transfer. One is conduction, another is radiation. But convection is not considered as a mode of heat transfer because it is like just transport system. Just the heat is transferred from one portion to another. Okay, so this is a basic concept of heat transfer, and there are the 3 modes of heat transfer. And in this module I will cover up all the 3 modes of heat transfer and the several equations. Okay, so basically I will start from the conduction, then I will go to the convection, then I will go to the radiations. So first come conduction. So what is conduction? Suppose there is a rod, iron rod is over there. Okay, and it has several packed molecules. It has some packed molecules. Okay, now if you heat in this portion, okay, so what will happen? This portion will be heated up, and these molecules will get some energy, and because of this energy it will vibrate more. This vibration energy will transfer to the neighboring molecules or neighboring atoms. Then again the same thing happens for the next case. The vibrational energy will go to the next atoms, then next atoms, and finally it will reach at the end. Okay, that means the heat transfer which is taking place because of the vibrations of the molecules or because of the diffusion is known as the conduction. So it is a very slower process. It is a very slower process because the heat transfer taking place because of the molecular diffusion. Okay, so how could we get, how this conduction is taking place? So to encounter the problems in heat conduction, uh, Fourier give us one equation that how this heat transfer is taking place, and this law is known as Fourier laws of conduction. Okay, so before going to the Fourier laws of conductions, first you have to know some assumptions, because this law takes some assumptions. So the major assumptions are that the body or the system should be, or the material should be homogeneous in nature, it should be uniform. Okay, and it should be isotopic. So these are the major assumption for this Fourier laws of conductions. Now let us come to the law. So what the law says? This law says that the rate of heat transfer, the rate of heat transfer means dq by dt, dq by dt, the rate of heat transfer dq by dt is directly proportional to the area, because directly proportional to the area. Again, this heat transfer is directly proportional to the temperature gradient, is directly proportional to the temperature gradient. So if we combine these two, the law becomes q is equal to minus k a dt by dx. Okay, so this is known as the Fourier law of conduction. Okay, so the k is the material property, and this is the area of the material, and this dt by dx is known as the temperature gradient. This k is termed as the thermal conductivity of the material. The higher is the thermal conductivity for a metal, the higher is the heat transfer rate. Okay, now why this minus sign is given? The minus sign is given because the heat will flow from higher temperature to lower temperature. Now if we want to evaluate this value of dt by dx, so it will come a negative value. So to encounter this negative value, this minus sign is provided so that the heat transfer, the final heat transfer will comes as positive value. Okay, now we will find out the conduction equation, the three-dimensional conduction equation, three-dimensional conduction equation. Okay, so to find out this three-dimensional conduction equation, we'll take a small element. We'll take a small element. Okay, so this is the coordinate x, y, and z. So the arms or the length of these arms is like this, it is dy, it is dx. So these are infinitesimally small element that we have taken in the flow field, dx, and this is become dz. Okay, so this is dz. Now So these are the total figure. Okay, now heat is coming in this direction qx, and heat is going out is qx plus dx. Similarly, in the y direction it will be q dot y, and heat is going out of this, so it will be q dot y plus dy. Similarly, in the z it is q dot z, and this is dot z plus dz. So I omit these dots. Okay. Okay, now we'll take the heat flow. Okay, next we will take the net heat generated, the net heat generated inside the element. We'll take it as qg, where qg is nothing but qg into dx to dy into dz. What is qg? qg, it is net heat generated per unit volume, So if we multiply this qg by this volume, we will get the total heat generated, inside the control volume. Now we will consider one by one directions. First we will consider the x directions. So along the x direction, okay, so along the x direction we can say q is equal to minus k a dt by dx, kx I can say, because this k is dependent on the material, and if the material is not isotropic or material is not homogeneous, then kx is dependent on the directions. Okay, so q dot x is equal to nothing but kx a into dt by dx, or we can say minus k. What is the area? That is, we know always we take the perpendicular area, that is we will take this area, it will be dy into dz. So dy into dz dt by dx. Okay, so it is the net mass, net heat coming along the x directions. So what will be the heat leaving from x directions, leaving from the element in the x direction? It will be q x plus dx. Okay, qx plus dx. So what will be the net heat gained or lost inside the control volume or element is equal to, it is nothing but q dot x minus qx plus dx, Okay, now if we elaborate this term, by means of Taylor series, so it will come qx minus q dot x plus del q by del x into dx. neglecting higher order term. So it will be neglecting higher order terms. Higher order terms. Okay, so it will become minus del q by del x into dx. Okay, so it will, we can say minus del x of minus kx dy dz into dt by dx into dx. So if we take out of the equations and if we remove the constant term, so it will come kx dt by dx into dx dy dz. So this is the heat gained or lost inside the control volume or the element per unit time, because all we have considered all the things in per unit time. So what will be the total heat generated? Total heat lost or gain in the x direction, it will be multiplied by time. So del x kx dt by dx into dx dy dz into d tau. So one more thing I have just forgot to give you, that this will be heat generated per unit time. So total it will be into d tau multiplied by time. So it will be total, it will be multiplied by time. So this is net heat energy per unit time, per unit volume, per unit time. Okay. So we have got that the total heat lost or gained in the x direction, it is nothing but minus del by del x k dt by dx dx dy dt dz into d tau. This total heat loss or gain in the x direction. So similarly in the y direction, it will be in the y direction, similarly in the y direction it will be del y ky dt by dx into dt by dy dx dy dz into d tau. Similarly in the z direction, del z kz dt by dz dx dy dz into d tau. Now as per the conservation principle, we know this net heat lost or generated inside the control volume will store or loss from the control volume. So if we find out the net heat lost or gained in the control volume, it is nothing but mcv control volume into c into dt by d tau into d tau. Okay, so it is the temp changes in the temperature with respect to time, it will be multiplied by time. So we will get the amc dt del T, the net changes in the temperature. Okay, now what is the mcv? It is nothing but rho into volume of the control volume. So it is c into dt by d tau into d tau. What is volume of the control volume? It is nothing but dx dy into dz into c into dt by d tau into d tau. Okay, so this is a net heat loss or gain inside the control volume. So it is same as the total heat lost or gained, the total heat lost or gained in the x direction plus total heat loss or gained in the y direction plus total heat lost or gained in the z direction plus the net heat generated, total heat generated. Okay, so we have find out all the equations till now. Now we will put it on the equation. So let us put it. So it is first del x kx dt by dx dy dx dy dz d tau plus del y ky dt dy dx dy dz d tau plus del z kz dt by dz dx dy dz into d tau plus total heat generated it is nothing but we have got the equation over here, this equation. So we'll put this equation. So it will be q dot g dx dy dz into d tau, which is similar as this equation, the total or the net heat lost or gain inside the control volume. It is rho into dx into rho into dx into dy into dz into d tau c into dt by d tau into d tau. Okay, so let us continue again. Okay, so this was the equations. Now you can see these terms are common on every term. Okay, so this equation should be reduced like this: del x kx dt dx plus del y ky dt dy plus del z kz dt dz plus q dot g is equal to rho c dt by d tau. So this total term is known as three-dimensional conduction equation, 3D conduction equation. So this three term is conduction equation, 3D conduction equations. So whenever we'll do some calculation, we'll use this equation in our further learning. So if we write it in the vector form, so it will become vector form, so it will become divergence k of t plus qg is equal to rho c dt by d tau. So this is the vector form of this three-dimensional conduction equation. Okay, now with using this equation we will form one by one equation. So condition 1, so if no internal heat generation, then it will become del x kx, or rather I can write the simplest form, k del t is equal to rho c dt by d tau. Condition 2, no internal heat generation and material is homogeneous. So in that case k is constant. Okay, so we can write del square t is equal to rho c by k del t by del tau. Okay, so it is known as 1 by alpha dt by d tau. Alpha is nothing but k by rho c. It is known as thermal diffusivity. Condition 3, the heat flow is steady. So in that case dt by d tau will become heat flow is equal to 0. So then it will become del square t plus qg is equal to 0. Okay, and if no internal heat generation is there, then it will be del square t is equal to 0, which is known as Laplace equation, Okay, now for 1D heat flow, so it will be del 2x by del t2 plus del 2y by del t2 plus 2y by del 2 is equal to 0 z. So in that case this term will be 0, this term will be 0, so it will be d2x by dt2, it will be dt2, it will be 0. Okay, so this is one dimensional equations, it is 1D heat conduction equation. So with this I'm ending my lecture today. So next day we'll do some calculation on this. Okay, thank you.